Welcome back to quarter two. This time round, we are going to be delving into the NFC North in terms of where we think teams are going to be finishing in the division. If you've already followed us on from quarter one, which I'm sure most of you have, so thank you very much first of all, you'll have heard us chat a bit about the roster moves that happened within the teams and particularly within the division. A couple of noticeable moves from one team to another to get the inside skinny on the schemes and those little wrinkles, anything the teams try and do to get one up on other teams. Start with your own division first and then work outside from there. If you can get 6 wins from from picking up your own division and how to beat them, the rest of the season becomes a lot easier.
It sure does. Right, so we're just going to dive straight into this. So the format we've done here is that one of us picks 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st.
I'm already going.
This division's really tight.
It is.
Now I have 1st place above the rest of them.
Okay, right.
And then I have 3 teams below that, which I'm not sure I can separate.
Well, let's go the wrong way round then, just to make it really easy.
Okay.
So, let's just go with who's going to win it.
Well, who's going to win it? The Chicago Bears are going to win it, I think.
I'm pretty much with you on that as well.
Yeah.
Not terribly exciting. It probably makes a lot of sense to certainly anyone who watched any NFL last season will know right away, holy moly, they are definitely a team to be reckoned with. In terms of, actually, I thought they probably would have got further than they actually did. Yeah. I was almost disappointed when they came out of the playoffs because by middle of the season I was kind of looking at them going, they might win it all. It'd be them versus the Rams, in the very early stages. Maybe I suppose Saints were doing particularly well as well, but but the Bears were right in the mix, and you thought they had a really good shot of going all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I think it's almost a no-brainer. They haven't, in my eyes anyway, they've not lost anyone of note. They don't seem to have any negative movement. Well, actually,
other than Amos.
Yeah, true. Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I was thinking more Vic Fangio, losing Vic Fangio from D coordinator.
Yep.
And going over to the Broncos. That actually is nothing that we talked about in quarter one, and Nah, we'll go with it. I don't think it matters. I think there's enough talent. There's enough talent on the team that it doesn't really matter. The Amos one, actually, that's quite interesting that you mentioned that because you're right enough, I think, in the fact that the hole that opens up on that defence, have they been able to patch up enough?
Yeah.
You just need a serviceable person because we've got enough pieces everywhere else, particularly that front of the D-line that's going to cause some major havoc and helps. I think they did not lead the league in defensive turnovers last season as well. I think they had quite a lot of defensive touchdowns. Certainly had a lot of turnovers, but they actually led the league in that. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but they did. I mean, they 6 or 7 returned for a touchdown or something, which is ridiculous. Really, they shouldn't get that many in a season, and they were just running riot week.
Feels like the Cardinals' offense didn't get that last season.
That would be an interesting stat. How much more touchdowns did the Cars' offense get than the Bears' defense?
So Bears won. Right, who have you got into?
I think I'm going to go with the Vikings.
Okay.
So reading bits about the off season and sort of the end of last season, I think there was a little bit of disappointment after the Kirk Cousins move about how they performed last year because at free agency before last season they thought that was the missing piece and that was what was going to get them right over the hump, and they were just going to steamroll it because they'd been in the NFC Championship game the year before. They have Thielen and Diggs at wide receiver, which is just ridiculous. Dalvin Cook, albeit he had busted his knee, he was going to be coming back, and he's showed enough in his rookie season that you thought he was going to be okay.
Is there a better 1-2 in terms of wide receivers in the league now? Now that the Steelers
you thinking up in that little place called Cleveland that's causing some merry hell?
Well, there's those
OBJ
two.
and Landry.
Yeah. There is an argument. Julio and Ridley. There's an argument for the Rams. There's a potential argument.
Is that Cooks and Cup? Is your 1-2 there, or?
I think so.
Hill and Watkins in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Or Hill and Hardman, depending on how good Mecole does, because he's got 2 touchdowns in 2 preseason games already. Yeah. And it looks like he is just as ridiculous as Tyreek, which was frightening, really.
Potentially even Green and Boyd, the Bengals. So another good 1-2 as well.
Actually, there's more teams than I thought of. Your question straight off the bat, I was very much thinking, yeah, they've pretty much got it in the bag. But just in that minute, they are throwing out a few other teams in the mix. There's definitely is competition for it. It's not not walking away with it. However, how many teams would take those two? Just about every other team in the league. So
anyone that we haven't mentioned would take them as their 1-2.
Pretty much answers it for you. As we said in quarter one, they've really not lost anybody. They're not a massively depleted roster from last year. You've got year 2 of Kirk Cousins with the system. They've done an upgrade in tight end by adding Irv Smith Jr. alongside the re-upped Kyle Rudolph.
Yep.
There's a lot of really positive movement. If I'm right in remembering, and my brain is particularly rusty at a lot of times, so I may be a little bit wrong on this, their O-line was a little bit shaky last season, and that was part of the problem.
Yeah.
The fact that maybe Cousins wasn't quite as good as what they thought they were going to be. So again, that's probably your major sticking point coming into year 2. They obviously picked their first round pick being Garrett Bradbury to anchor the centre, which is going to help solve that issue. So that's probably where I'd probably throw them. I think they're probably just second place ahead of the other two. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's other than who you think is going to win, the other three are almost interchangeable. So I think there's only going to be a couple of games between them as well. Yeah, it's going to be really close.
Yeah, I totally agree. Although I think I had the Vikings lower down than second, but this is our format and this is where we stick with.
So then, therefore, going into third place, I'm assuming would be your second place team.
Yeah, and I'm still flipping them round in my head as I come to
Did you have the Vikings at fourth? Then?
Well, potentially, yeah.
Woof! Whoa!
Go
on, that's fine, right, go on, no. This is how we do it.
Right, I have the Lions at 3. Because
Gav's going to hate you.
Yes,
he's not going to
you're right.
Anyways.
No, I have the Lions at 3, and the reasons that I have the Lions at 3 are as much in Detroit as they are in Green Bay. So, second year with Patricia, he's got more of his own guys in there. He's moulding it more like, as we said in quarter one, a Patriots light, and it's just going to become more successful, I think.
Well, the most successful. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he recreates 75% of what Belichick's done up in
50%,
Detroit, Detroit's going to be
45%.
Let's keep lowering it. It's still better than the poor Lions have had for a long time.
So there's that, and then on the other side of that, you've got a year 1 head coach in Green Bay.
Yes,
and
that's the unknown. And then the rumbling, and there has been a lot of rumblings of him and Rodgers not quite being on the same page. It's had to get flamed out a couple of occasions through the off-season already, and that's not a good thing to have when you've got a lot of people will rate him easily the best quarterback in the league.
In terms of talent,
pure talent. Well, he hasn't got the results to back up, and this is where the whole, against Brady, Breeze, whatever, how does he stack up? He's definitely in the top elite. There is a group of him and Rodgers. He's easily in there. Yes. Easily in there. There's no denying that. He's been a bit unlucky with injuries last couple of seasons. Scheme set up that maybe doesn't quite suit him 100% for whatever reason. Him and McCarthy had that bit of a breakup. It just wasn't quite working the way it should have been. Turned over obviously pretty much all the offensive roster around him in the last sort of 3-4 seasons as well, so he's kind of almost Green Bay 2.0 for him. And then bringing in LaFleur on his first year, just how's that going to shake out? So I totally get where you're going with that. There is definitely, I think, concerns in Green Bay that they are not able to have the 1 year bounce. But as we've pointed out in other quarters in the last couple of weeks as well, particularly going back to the fact that I didn't give Mike Vrabel in Tennessee much of a chance this time last year and was promptly proven wrong very quickly. This could very well happen again. We could be sitting here 4 weeks from now going, Green Bay are sitting 4-0, LaFleur and Rodgers are ripping the league apart, and eat my words.
Could happen.
We just don't quite see it the way. So we're going to go for Green Bay bottoming out the division.
Yes.
How many wins do we think?
Still
picking up 6 or 7 though?
Yeah, 7.
So 7 goes bottom. Lions then
I think this could be 7, 8, 9, 10.
7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I do like those numbers. So I don't disagree with you. Is where I should have gone with that. I think that's probably a fair summary. So 10 wins for the.
Will be one of the tightest divisions in the entire league.
Yeah, there's I suppose maybe just watching it more and understanding more about the game. There's certainly divisions where like they're just going to savage each other.
Yeah.
There's no clear one team's going to dominate the others, and then what you get then obviously on the flip side is there is the one or two divisions where you have that, and it does seem like a runaway train. And so you're thinking, well, they're X number of wins ahead of other teams in their conference already, and it makes it easier for them to get to the playoffs.
Yep.
But then if you're not tested that much during, by your division, how does that then actually play out in the playoffs? That's maybe something worth going and having a look at, actually. How does a savage division benefit or not what happens when you get to the playoffs? Interesting.
Yeah, interesting point.
So there we go. So I think that quickly rounds up quarter 2 of this week.
Yep.
We join us next time round where we'll be diving down in the NFC South.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting because I think we say the North's going to savage each other. I think the South's probably going to have quite a good go at it as well, to be honest. But
yeah,
join us next time and we'll have a wee chat through that.